The absolute best steakhouse in every state in America. I love a steak. I've had to cut down on the amount of red meat I eat because apparently it's not that good for you in too high of a dose. Dose? That's not the right word. Too high of an amount. So I limit myself to like twice or three times a week. But just tearing into a good steak, medium, with a good peppercorn or mushroom sauce. Oh my God, it's one of my favorite things to eat. And if there's a country in the world that probably has the best steakhouses, America's got to be up there. So, you know, I thought it'd be useful to see, like, to make a little list of the places that I'm going to go to, like, when I'm in the States next, like, where do I go to get the best steak?
In the mood for a juicy, perfectly cooked steak? We've got you covered with the best steakhouses in all 50 states. From Alabama to Wyoming, if you have a hankering for beef, this extensive steakhouse guide is sure to deliver. At Big Mike's Steakhouse in Alabama, the meat is so thick and hearty that you can easily share a steak meal with a loved one or even a couple of friends. From oysters to shrimp, all 4 locations of Big Mike's Steakhouse also have a...
The size of those crab legs, man. That crab must have been enormous.
Variety of seafood options. However, it's the steak that will steal your heart. The Alabama Cattlemen Association even named it the state's best steak. Canyon Steakhouse is situated in a breathtaking location, approximately a mile from the gates of the Denali National Park in Alaska.
Wow.
While the scenery may steal the show, the food at this...
That backdrop is stunning. Like, imagine having that view while, like, you know, cutting into a good steak. Perfect.
Restaurant is also quite memorable. Beyond steaks, Canyon Steakhouse serves local favorites like Alaska jig caught rockfish, and everything is pristinely presented. Durant's in Arizona has been a family-owned institution in the city of Phoenix for 70 years. Beyond its old-school appeal, Durant's also has fabulous steaks that you'll reminisce about for days on end.
Durant's is the finest eating and drinking establishment in the world.
Before you leave Durant's, be sure to order from their legendary dessert menu that includes favorites ranging from creme brulee to strawberry shortcake.
I do love a creme brulee, man. Oh my God. Oh, with the hard shell and you cut into it in the custard. I'm getting hungry already.
Hot Springs, Arkansas, with a population of less than 40,000 people, is home to the Porterhouse, the very best steakhouse in the state. Everything on the menu looks delectable, from their eponymous porterhouse that tips the scales at 22 ounces to the grilled swordfish steak. However, it's the filet a la Oscar that really steals the show.
22 ounces, there's 28 grams in an ounce. So we're talking, wow, like almost over half a kilogram. That's a big steak. That's a big steak.
And gets talked about the most. If you're searching for the best of the best among California's steakhouses, head to San Francisco and visit Oso Steakhouse. While the food isn't exactly cheap, it's worth loosening your purse strings. At Oso Steakhouse, you get big, beautiful pieces of meat in a setting with a charming ambiance and an attentive staff. Former Denver Broncos head coach Mike Shanahan is one of the individuals behind Shanahan Steakhouse. While the exterior looks modern, the food has an old-timey goodness that's resulted in a plethora of excellent reviews. If prime rib is your thing, head to Shanahan Steakhouse in Colorado. And on your way out, be sure to take a photo with a couple Super Bowl trophies. Connecticut-based Joseph's Steakhouse is the brainchild of Croatian immigrant Joseph Kustra, who learned the way of the steak from New York's best steakhouses. Joseph's Steakhouse is stubborn about using only high-quality meat, and they specialize in gigantic steaks. For example, you can order an 88-ounce T-bone platter that should be able to feed 4 adults.
88 ounces. 88 ounces, good Lord. That is about 1.7 kilograms, I think. Yeah, that's definitely enough to feed 4 people. 100%. Or one hugely hungry person.
Or 3 if you're really hungry. Found in Wilmington, Delaware, Walter's Steakhouse is a family-owned eatery with an exquisite reputation. The owner is known to personally make sure that you enjoy each and every meal. Whether you are in the mood for lamb chops or lobster tails, you can find it on the menu for Walter's Steakhouse. If you want a recommendation, the prime rib gets consistently high marks. While Linda's La Cantina Steakhouse in Orlando, Florida may look like a cafeteria when you first enter the building, there's only seriously amazing steak and other items.
Is that cornbread or is that a piece of cake? I'm not sure, because that stuff looks like icing, like that you would have on the outside of a cake.
That will make your mouth water with delight. While everything on their relatively simple menu is worth ordering, it's the La Cantina Large T-Bone that is the cream of the crop.
Nice try.
A great steak sauce can sometimes make all the difference. With that in mind, head to Hunter's Pub and Steakhouse in Hamilton, Georgia if you want to get your hands on a steak sauce that's so popular that locals won't shut up about it. The sauce is made with a proprietary blend of ingredients and goes especially well with their 16-ounce ribeye. Hai Steakhouse gets great reviews, and not just because it sets up shop in Waikiki, Hawaii. Customers point to the seafood as the must-try item on the menu, specifically the ahi sashimi and the pistachio-crusted scallops. It's been around for in excess of 4 decades and is famous for its classy fine dining experience.
I mean, I know that it's not guaranteed, like, just because a restaurant's been around for a long time, that it's going to be good. But because restaurants, it's so, like, competitive, for a steakhouse to be around that long, it's got to be pretty good, right? It's got to be good.
If you're on a budget, at least try one of this steakhouse's glorious desserts.
Shall we cheers and then dig in?
Let's do this.
All right, cheers.
Yes.
This is a great day at work, definitely.
Located near the Snake River in Idaho Falls, Stockman's Restaurant is a steakhouse that offers gigantic portions at very fair prices. Their Mediterranean ribeye is particularly exciting. It's 16 ounces and smothered with Alfredo sauce, mushrooms, and Parmesan cheese, and then topped with shrimp. Even if you don't have a courageous palate, it's worth a try. While Chicago has a lot of outstanding steakhouses, you need to go about 45 miles away to the city of Lake Zurich to find the best steakhouse in Illinois, which has roots that date back to the 1920s. On their menu, Below Steakhouse gives you hints about what you should pick, including a 24-ounce bone-in ribeye, the barbecue bacon.
Oh my God, look at these. Look how thick they are. And the sauce looks amazing.
Burger, and baby back pork ribs.
The ribs too.
St. Elmo Steakhouse is
The lamb
iconic.
chops, sorry.
Gentlemen, welcome to the steakhouse of St. Elmo. Tonight we eat something's flesh. I want meat!
While its exterior is aesthetically pleasing enough to tempt you to visit in Indianapolis, it's the amazing food that you will cherish in your memories, as many visitors claim it's the best steakhouse anywhere in the entire world. While this eatery has plenty of steak options on their menu, splurge for one of the prime dry-aged steaks. At Iowa Beef Steakhouse, you can watch an expert prepare your steak on a grill while you ready your taste buds for an amazing meal.
I wonder how many cows there are in the entire United States. Like, do you reckon that there's more cows than there are people in the US? I don't know, actually. Maybe. With how big some of the ranches are, it's got to be a possibility.
As the name of the restaurant suggests, they only use beef from Iowa. The prices of everything made on the grill are very reasonable, with entrees starting at around $15, and the choices range from teriyaki sirloin to barbecue pork ribs. Be sure to make a detour to Baxter Springs if you're ever in Kansas. It's the home of Van Steakhouse, the best steakhouse in Kansas by far. Their ribeye steak gets good grades for its size and its freshness. Van Steakhouse also has a smoky mesquite sirloin that has caused a lot of attention to be focused on this hole-in-the-wall steakhouse. Lexington, Kentucky's locally owned Blue Heron Steakhouse is proud of its chic and cozy vibe. Reviews not only appreciate the atmosphere, but also the delicious meat, the tasty sides, and their impressive array of cocktails. Start off with a yummy appetizer like char-grilled Louisiana-style oysters or jumbo lump crab cake before trying their porterhouse steak for $2. Louisiana Superior Steakhouse is modeled after elegant and upscale restaurants found in Chicago. However, once you look at the menu, you'll be pleased to see the Louisiana influence, as this fantastic restaurant has local favorites like Louisiana crawfish cornbread and a wide variety of shrimp dishes. But of everything, it's their dry-aged ribeye that gets talked about the most.
Gosh, man, I really want to eat a steak. When was the last time I had red meat? I think it was the day before yesterday. Did I have red meat yesterday? No, I didn't. So maybe I can eat a steak today. Get in there.
It may
I'm
seem
having
bold when
steak.
some place gives themselves a simple name like the Steakhouse, but this restaurant in Wells, Maine has every right to be extremely confident. While the food is reasonably priced, the Steakhouse doesn't cut any corners. They have an ambitious menu with everything from steaks and ribs to Italian offerings, and reviewers can't get enough.
That's a nice amount of lobster. I wonder how much this plate is. If I had to guess, this is going to be at least... In the UK, this would be for that size steak, this would be around 40 to 50 pounds, I would say. Maybe 50 quid. Yeah, maybe between 50 and 60.
With a history that dates back decades and the lovely decor to match, you'll be thrilled with Lunessa Steakhouse before you even take your first bite of food. Once you dig into the food, though, your love will only multiply for this Annapolis, Maryland landmark. From the filet mignon to the broiled Atlantic salmon filet, the food at Lunessa Steakhouse is adored. Don't let the corny name fool you. Moo is a spectacular steakhouse located in Boston, Massachusetts. Although it's a relatively new restaurant, it is already making waves that can be felt from coast to coast. In fact, it was named as one of the best steakhouses in the nation, and the Japanese A5 Wagyu sirloin will blow your mind.
I've never tried Wagyu. Like, what is the hype justified? Because to me, it just looks like a really fatty steak. but you know, it's raved about, isn't it? Like people are like, oh, Wagyu, it's like the top of the top. I like a bit of texture to my meat. Like I don't want it to be too soft. Like, is it worth me trying Wagyu? Is my question.
Bodie's Chop House has 3 locations in Michigan, and all 3 are fully capable of knocking your socks off. Another new kid on the block, it didn't take long before people from all across the state were stopping by to taste the food. While a lot of goodies on the menu may catch your eye, the filet mignon is undoubtedly the most popular dinner option. While the prices on the menu will make you do a double take, Manny's Steakhouse in Minneapolis, Minnesota is a place where true fans of eating steak should plan to visit. Be sure to ask to see their meat cart so that you can get an idea of what you're ordering. The portion sizing can sometimes be overwhelming, but not if you come hungry. Marshall Steakhouse can brag
Dude, what even was that? That thing on the plate? Was that a lobster tail? No way.
about being voted Mississippi's best steakhouse by the Mississippi Beef Council and the Food Network. Consider taking on the Marshall Challenge. If you finish a 72-ounce sirloin, your meal is free. But fail or not, your taste buds will be thrilled. While the atmosphere at Matt's Steakhouse is laid back and you'd never confuse it for a fancy eatery, the tasty food will catch your attention. While the steak is as good as you'd expect from a steakhouse on this list, don't miss out on the chicken. If you ever find yourself in Missouri, halfway between Kansas City and St. Louis, don't skip Matt's.
It's hard though. Like if I ever go to a steakhouse, I'm going to get steak, even though, like she said, the other things might be really tasty and worth trying. You're always going to get the steak, aren't you?
Montana knows a thing or two about beef, and Lolo Creek Steakhouse is considered the best steakhouse in the state for a few good reasons. The portions are large and obviously crafted with care. Whether you go with the Alaskan King crab legs or the huge Montana steak, you are sure to leave this restaurant completely satisfied. In Ashland, Nebraska, Round the Bend Steakhouse is located in the middle of nowhere, but their amazing steaks make it worth the drive. From the satisfying grill marks to the magnificent taste, all your senses will be overjoyed. If that's not enough, since 1993, Round the Bend has held something called the Testicle Festival that includes a, quote, ball eating contest. Yum! If you're in Nevada, a trip to the Golden Steer Steakhouse should be on your to-do list. Once your plate of food is in front of you, your appreciation for the Golden Steer and its decades of service will only increase.
Going back, like, what do those things taste like? I think they're called Rocky Mountain oysters. Like, what does it taste like? You know, not the flavor of the seasoning, the actual ball. I don't know if I want to. I think that I'm quite open-minded, but oh god, maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I should just try it.
From the shorthorn to the double-cut lamb chops, everything tastes phenomenal. Buckley's Great Steak gets superlative reviews, with excited customers pointing specifically to the high quality of the waitstaff, the atmosphere, and of course, the food. Buckley's Great Steaks is owned by a husband and wife duo in New Hampshire who have successfully reached their goal of serving great steaks at fair prices. In the small township of Little Falls, New Jersey, stands a big name in the world of restaurants, Rare the Steakhouse. This steakhouse is known for the way they perfected the art of cooking.
Wow, this is just too rare for me. This looks like this is rare. This is almost beyond rare. Like, yeah, this is just too rare for me. Like, a little bit more.
Steak exactly to your specifications.
How do you have your steaks, by the way?
And don't worry, despite the name of this eatery, you don't have to order your steak rare. You might not expect a steakhouse to be the place where you can find great Mexican food, but at La Ventana Steakhouse in Grants, New Mexico, that's exactly what you can expect. It's a great choice if you want a typical steakhouse experience with a memorable steak and a glass of wine to go with your Mexican food. Peter Luger Steakhouse is the best steakhouse in the state of New York, and possibly the best in the country. With a history that dates back to the 1800s, Peter Luger Steakhouse has earned a Michelin star, and has routinely been rated as the best steakhouse in the area. While you'll pay a pretty penny at this restaurant, it's totally justifiable. Vinny's Steakhouse and Tavern stands out from the pack.
How much would a dinner for two cost at Peter Luger's? Like, what are we talking here? Are we talking, because she said it's going to be a pretty penny. Surely it can't be more than 300 for two people? Can't be more than that, right?
The atmosphere is relaxed and allows you to eat your wonderful cut of meat and drink your glass of wine in peace. Beyond Wine, this tavern located in Raleigh, North Carolina, also has whiskeys, scotches, martinis, and yes, beers that will kick your dining experience up a notch or two. After being converted from an old barn to a steakhouse back in 1946, the excellent reputation of the Ranch Steakhouse in North Dakota drew in customers from miles around despite being in a town called Devil's Lake. Even with its growth in popularity and prestige, this restaurant still looks like an old barn, but also serves fancy food that will keep your taste buds entertained. The key to Ohio's Lock 16 Steakhouse is the value. When it comes to getting a great piece of meat at a fair price, you can't beat this place. From barbecue ribs to filet mignon, the menu is packed with great deals, including unique burgers that are worth a try, including the Chipotle Ranch Burger.
Good looking burger, nice crispy bacon.
Oklahomans are very serious about their meat, and if you ask the locals for their top choice, Cattleman's Steakhouse gets first-class reviews thanks to its gigantic portions, tasty meat, and excellent service.
We provide uncompromising hospitality and sort of a family feel to our guests when they come in to dine with us.
They must be doing something right because they've been around since 1910, and bad steakhouses don't last that long in the Sooner State. Ringside Steakhouse has been the go-to steakhouse in Portland, Oregon for more than 75 years. It offers a comfortable atmosphere and food that can compare to any steakhouse in the United States. This longtime favorite in Portland shows no signs of slowing down. In addition to their food, their wine selection has drawn further recognition to Ringside Steakhouse.
By the way, guys, if you're from one of the states on this list and you don't agree with the steakhouse that's been like nominated as the best one, what would you say is the best one? Like, put it in the comments, please.
After their grand reopening in 2014, their reviews for 1700 Degree Steakhouse have
Very
improved to the
bougie.
point that it's now without question the best steakhouse in Pennsylvania. From their colossal shrimp cocktail to their T-bone steak to the truffle lobster mac and cheese, their Atlantic salmon, you're sure to find something on their menu that will draw you in. There's no
Wow,
doubt that the best
pomegranate
steakhouse in Rhode
seeds.
Island can be found in the city of Providence, where Mills Tavern reigns supreme.
Welcome to award-winning Mills Tavern.
People love everything about this steakhouse. From steaks to seafood, their selection impresses. The drinks are good too, as Mills Tavern also has won awards for their collection of wines. Carolina Restaurant is a fantastic steakhouse hiding in an unassuming brick building. From the friendly employees to the steaks, the reviews simply couldn't be much better for this Chesterfield, South Carolina restaurant. In fact, many reviewers say Carolina Restaurant is the home of the best steaks anywhere in the area. Tucked away in Rapid City, South Dakota, is a steakhouse that deserves to get national attention. You'll know you've made it to...
Wow, look at this. This is what we call a bougie plate of food. What is this, crispy potato or like onions? This potato here looks great too, with the bacon and the cheese.
Dakota Steakhouse when you see their iconic buffalo. While this restaurant makes it clear that their specialty is steak, they also have extremely unique choices like walleye fingers and elk ravioli. For nearly 40 years, the Butcher Shop Steakhouse has been a must-visit destination just outside of Memphis, Tennessee. All the beef they use in this restaurant is grain-fed, and it's all barbecued over a bed of charcoal. Their results are dependably delicious. If you're feeling bold enough to try and do your own grilling, they'll sell you high-quality cuts of meat directly. It's in Houston where you'll discover the steakhouse that has no rival, Taste of
Here we
Texas.
go.
Despite high
Taste of
traffic and an
Texas.
unquenchable demand, Taste of Texas gets absurdly high reviews. Happy customers point to the tomahawk ribeye and steamed lobster tail as two of this restaurant's specialties. Grub steak? Strange name maybe, but give this steakhouse a chance. It's located in Park City, Utah, with beautiful surroundings and even better food. When your dinner hits the table, you will be amazed by the presentation and the quality. As for a recommendation, the bison tenderloin is wrapped in bacon and will have you dreaming about it days after finishing your meal.
Wow, bison tenderloin wrapped in bacon. The flavors.
In Rutland, Vermont, you'll find a charming eatery called Southside Steakhouse.
What's bison like? Is it like beef or is it closer to something like venison?
Where you should only order one item. They have other good food, mind you, but nothing compares to their dry-aged bone and ribeye. Southside Steakhouse dry-ages their steak on site for at least 3 weeks. You've probably never heard of Culpeper, Virginia, but this town is a place where all steak lovers should go at least once. Piedmont Steakhouse serves beautiful food that is extraordinarily tasty. Located in a brick building that's more than 120 years old, this restaurant gets outstanding reviews. Since Churchill Steakhouse opened their doors in downtown Spokane, Washington in 2007, they've been met with a flurry of positive reviews. No matter what you order, from the braised beef tips with mushroom risotto to the stuffed free-range chicken with herbes de Provence, you won't be disappointed. Prime 44 West was created to honor the hometown hero and basketball legend Jerry West, and it successfully does just that. Not only is Prime 44 West easily the best steakhouse in West Virginia, but it's also even been named the best restaurant in the entire state. Located in the Greenbrier, a luxury resort with jaw-dropping mountain views, it's popular with celebs from around the world.
It must be hard to like really sort of stand out as a steakhouse because so many people do steaks and, you know, ultimately a steak is just a thick cut of beef seasoned with salt and pepper and garlic and you know, seared. So you've got to really be like really good, like really, really good to like really stick out.
Milwaukee Steakhouse is a no-frills restaurant that cherishes the fact that they offer a relaxed dining experience. If you visit, you won't think it's anything special until the food arrives. That's when you will know you have made the right choice. The steak is as tender as any meat that you can find anywhere, and Milwaukee Steakhouse's reviews are consistently great. Gun Barrel in Jackson, Wyoming is everything you'd expect it to be if you judge it by the name. The steakhouse is decorated with shotguns, cowboys, buffalo, and eagles. The fun continues when you take a look at the menu and see options such as venison bratwurst.
Man, that was way too rare. Hold on a minute. A good vet could bring this back, I think. It's still mooing.
Venison bratwurst, bison carpaccio, and velvet elk. Check out one of our newest videos.
Man, I'm starving now. Every time I watch one of these videos, I literally end them super hungry. I'm going to have to get myself a steak. There's a, good butcher not too far from me. I need to try Wagyu, I think. I need to really, decide whether, it's for me or not. Because I've heard so much about Wagyu and there's different grades of Wagyu. There's like A1 and A5 or something like that. But when I look at it before it's been, seared, I just see lots of fat. Is there more to, am I missing something? Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.